because I have
Cool.
done this one too many times where we get deep into a conversation and I forget to press record, bro.
hmm
Oh man, the worst part. I've got a friend. His name's Archer, who's an artist. He used to be in a crew with the one crew with like Sway and Pirelli back in like
Dope.
we're talking about 30 years ago. 30 years ago.
hmm
That's how old I am. And we had a brilliant episode, bro. And I did not press record.
That's the worst. That's the worst. It's the one thing I like about Riverside because Riverside gives you that little test run,
Yes.
and that's needed because sometimes you're waffling away, even when you do hit record, and then you come to edit it, and you're like, wait, why can't I hear his audio? And it's like, so yeah,
It happens.
thank
It
goodness for
happens.
that. Yeah,
All right,
for
cool.
sure.
As I said, bro, it's a free flowing conversation. I will ask you those two questions that I did send through, but I'm gonna kick this off. And I know I always do this like mid conversation. So, guys, welcome to the Brothers Geek Out podcast. As always, I am super grateful for all the love that you guys show to the channels and the social medias and all the rest of it. We're so grateful. I just want to plug the sponsor, Cherish Clicks. Oh my god, I forgot the tagline. Oof, they're gonna get me. They are gonna get me. They are gonna get me. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Be the magic, capture the magic. That's I think it's like that. But if they get me, they get me. Are you still there, bro?
Yeah, I was gonna say, can you see me? Because I've just got a
Yes.
notification saying, there we go. Okay, cool.
There you go. You're
Sweet.
back. You're back. You're back. So,
Awesome.
guys,
Sweet.
I've got a special guest on the show today. Want to say a massive thank you to BB coming on. He looks after panels and bars. His knowledge in hip hop music and pop culture in general is insane. I love the content that he does, and recently he's been ramping it up, which is absolutely amazing. Uh, I'm trying to work out when we connected, bro. Thank you again for coming on the show, bro.
Appreciate you for having me, brother. Thank you. Thank
Uh,
you.
I'm trying to remember when we connected, but regardless, I always love seeing creative people and I love hearing creative things. And like, give us a little bit about panels and bars and where you started, BB, which is an amazing journey so far.
So yeah, so I am really into hip hop culture, rap, graffiti, breakdance. Like it's been the backbone of my life, essentially. And also since I was about 7 years old, I was massively into comic books. Started out with Marvel and then branched into
Mm-hmm.
other things. And as you grow older, at least as I did, I noticed that there was like a weird intersection between the two. So for anyone that really knows about hip hop, you'll know that Method Man is Johnny Blaze, named after Ghost Rider. Ghostface is Iron Man, Tony Stark's. Like Buster Rhymes grew up listening to reading so many comic books and referencing sci-fi and stuff. So like there is this massive crossover, but I never saw anyone talk about the two. So that's what panels and bars is. So like the panels represents panels in the comic books, and bars is bars in music, musical bars. And it's just me covering all the things I love, all the things that make me happy, and kind of exposing them because I feel with black culture in particular, in general, but also hip hop in particular, we're not archiving it enough. There is so much rich, deep history started out in the Bronx and it's just expanded worldwide to all these different countries, all these different cultures have embraced and love hip hop so much, right? And there are so many amazing people that have done so many amazing things, everything from Run DMC to what Kendrick is doing now. And I feel like there are not enough platforms that archive this material that like really celebrate it the way it deserves to be celebrated because it is really culture that has changed the world and made so many people's lives better. So I just want to be like another avenue where if you didn't know all the amazing things these men and women have done, you know now.
Amazing, amazing. I think it's really important, man, because it's a big part of culture. Like same thing as for me as I grew up. I grew up on hip hop because my uncle passed me a tape of Ice T, and that's how
Mm-hmm.
I got into hip hop. Well, he played me Wu Tang Clan and everything else, but it was Ice T's album. I can't remember which one it was, but he gave it to me on a tape, on a tape and a cassette tape, and
Mm-hmm.
it's been a big part of our household. My father grew up listening to reggae. He was a big Bob Marley fan, and then that's how we got into the culture. I grew up in such a multicultural area, and I when I see people talking about the passions of hip hop, how it grew, how it became, and the crossovers with comic books, because that's where it came for me as well, was hip hop and comic
Mm-hmm.
books, like just a merger together. Uh, it's amazing that you could pass that knowledge on, and like just as a father to another father, it's knowledge that you could pass on to the next generation and what it means
Mm-hmm.
to you, because that's how it was for me when it came to Bangladeshi movies and Bollywood movies and things like that came along the line for me to be able to share those with my kids later on, because as you said, it's not archived well, and people don't really like talk much about it, and not in depth as well, of the
Yeah.
history of it, the richness of it, and the culture of it. And we hear it in all the music itself. I mean, my brother is a hip hop guy to the end, regardless. Even if I play him a pop track and say, "Bro, you know what? This is kind of decent," he's like, "No, bro, nothing's
No.
better than big. Nothing's better." He goes, "Nothing's better than Big Pun." Like he's a big Punisher fan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I remember him like always repping Big Pun. He had all the t-shirts. You had the
I don't think
big
we talk about Big Pun enough, man.
nah, Big Pun was amazing. Terror Squad during that time period, but Big
Mm-hmm.
Punisher as like a lyrical, he just spitted some crazy bars. I remember listening
Mm-hmm.
to that first album, and I was like, I mean, where I felt like that was an era of a point where hip hop did evolve for that culture as well,
Mm-hmm.
and it was quite massive. And then you had Terror Squad's album, and then each of the other artists that were in the Terror Squad as well. I mean, Cuban Link, he was a big fan of Cuban Link as well.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but yeah, massive. Shout outs to G, man. I know he's in Dubai right now. Usually he would jump on the episodes with us.
I'm
But
actually like so little like you made me like a little humble brag. I've got a song, one of my early mixtapes with Cuban Link.
what?
Yeah, I collabed with him like this is like 20 years ago or something now. But yeah, I did. I collabed with Cuban Link in the early days. So yeah.
Oh
So
my. Okay, bro. That's something you got to send over so I can
Cuban Link
share.
and the game actually, which is crazy. Cuban
Oh
Link and the game.
wow.
Yeah, yeah. So if I can find the link, I'll send it. So it's on my Bandcamp somewhere. Yeah,
Wow, that must have been amazing. Like, how did you?
yeah. So literally, when I first started, so like another thing I should probably include,
Yeah.
I haven't done it for a long time, but I MC, I produce, and I have my own record
Wow.
label, Roaring Records. And so when I started, we were literally just teenagers, just sending emails to anyone that would listen, and we sent a track to Cuban Links people. Within like 2 hours, he had like 3 verses. He was like, use them however you want. Like just he didn't know us from anything. He just like respect the passion, respect the hunger. Let me know if you need any drops. Like let me know if you need me to shout your name, whatever. Like boom, 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 same day, done.
Wow.
Yeah. And so that was a lot of my early career was just like emailing people, hey, here's a beat. I'm just a kid from London. Would you help me out? Some people said yeah, some people didn't, but he was one of the people that like, yeah, whatever you need, man, I got you. Like keep doing your thing. Just saw the hunger in someone and respected it. So he's a person I got a lot of time for.
That's amazing, bro. Oh man, look at this. I'm talking to somebody who's collabed with Cuban Link. My brother's gonna be jealous about that. He's gonna be jealous about that. That's amazing. I mean, because with the community that we usually work with the movie stuff that we do, and that's how I probably interlinked and got to know you in the process as well.
Yeah.
But with Comic Con as well, how have you found that journey, where like coming into that space?
Well, it's interesting, right? Because it's almost like the opposite end now. Because, like I said, in music biz, I was a young kid coming up, so I'm learning and I'm getting advice from people. And I got burnt a couple of times, but that's all part of the learning process. But now I'm in this era of my life where I'm reviewing movies and TV shows and that stuff. I'm the old head, so a lot of kids discover things for the first time. I'm seeing
Yeah.
kids, and it's an amazing thing. I'm seeing kids become passionate and kids watching films that like I grew up on, but they've never heard
Mm-hmm.
of, and seeing them discover that for the first time and like figure out what genres they like and what actors they like, and they're seeing things for the first time that I've almost like grown jaded to, or I'm over a bit. But it's
Yeah.
amazing seeing that through their eyes. And I think also if you are someone who does what we do now, you're probably around my age. You're like, we grew up with dial-up internet. You grew up like screaming at your mum to get off the phone so that you could use AOL.
Hopefully you haven't cut out, bro. All right, little technical difficulties, but we'll get BB back on soon.
It's a wonderful time.
Oh, there you are. You're back. You're back. You're back. It is a wonderful time. I got to say, it's a great community, bro.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for 10 years now.
Mm.
Been doing it for 10 years. Traditionally, I'm a comic book artist, bro. I've been doing art
Yeah.
for a very long time. But getting into the movie side of things has been it's been an absolute pleasure, because as you said, it's what you pass on to the next generation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And them seeing your knowledge, and they're like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna check this out. I'm gonna check that out, and I'm gonna take his point of view on. Like we can have like discussions now without it being a heated debate. It could be a
Facts.
conversation. Well,
Facts.
we touched on Mighty Supreme. You enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really connect to it, and
Mm.
we didn't have an argument over that because
Facts.
sometimes, as you've noticed on social media, people like to force feed uh, their point of views on you.
Yeah.
And I realized with the
I
community we
think I
got,
think
they've been quite listening.
one of the benefits of getting older, you probably find this for yourself, is starting to understand, you know what, not everything is for me. And one of the examples that always sticks out in my head, right? So I don't know if you ever saw Harley Quinn in the Birds of Prey.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
It really didn't work for me.
Mm.
And I was talking about it at my day job. And one of my colleagues, she said, I love that film. And I was like, I thought you didn't like superhero stuff. And she's like, I don't. That just usually doesn't work for me. But she said, you know what? As a woman, she said, there are certain things that when you watch them, you understand, oh, a woman wrote that and a woman directed that. And she gave me the funniest example, right? But it made so much sense when she said it. She said, during one of the fight scenes, one of the characters keeps like wiping her hair out of her eye, like it's bugging her. You can see it's wiping her hair out of her eye. And eventually, as they get ready to like squabble up, one of the other characters reaches in, gives her a scrunchie, and she ties her hair back. She's like, now you would never see that in a movie directed by a man. They would not think to put that in. But as a woman, that's the type of thing that when you're watching these action movies and these women have got like hair blowing in their face and stuff, you're like, why didn't she have a scrunchie? And she's like, when you see something like that and you see it's written by your people and it speaks to you, it hits you a different way. And that's what she needed to say for me to say, you know what, it's not for me. But there's probably a little
Yeah,
girl or a young woman who sees themselves represented in that, and that makes all the difference. And I think
100%.
that's when you can have those discussions with people and you realize that's the nuance. Like, not everything has to be for you, and that's
Mm.
fine. Sometimes you'll enjoy it, sometimes you won't. But it's not the end of the world that someone made a piece of media that you don't connect with.
100%, 100%, 100%. I think that's really important because I always say it's constructive feedback. Like I always try and give
Mm-hmm.
constructive feedback on it. So maybe some things work for me, maybe the cinematography, maybe the dialogue worked for me, but then the overall story and the flow of it maybe not worked for me. It's like a rhythm. If that
Mm.
rhythm doesn't hit
Yeah.
me, then some stories don't work. But with we even with Birds of Prey, like it didn't have a rhythm for me. But as you said, with
Mm.
that little notion of a scrunchie, oh my god, that connects to so many people on a different level. I'm not sure
Cool.
exactly what is happening, but the internet is okay. But it could be just buggy, bro. To be honest, so apologies on that.
Yeah.
But where was we?
Well,
Where was
two old
we?
men on a podcast. We're gonna forget where we were.
Always happens. Always happens. But we'll jump. We're going to jump into a bit of a lot of the movies that are coming out this year. How
Cool.
well? First thing, what's your thoughts on Doomsday and Robert Downey Jr. coming back, bro?
We could do a whole podcast on this, man. So listen, I love Robert Downey Jr., right? And I think he's fantastic. I'm not on board for this for any reason. And
Mm-hmm.
I'll try and like keep it as distinct and as focused as I can. The first reason is in a genre that's known for resurrecting this character and bringing this character back, you gave us a really heartfelt, a really meaningful end to this character's arc. He starts off, he's self-centered, he's brash, he's arrogant, he doesn't care about anyone. He will never do anything that really puts himself at risk. And his character arc fully ends with him sacrificing himself for the good of everyone at a point in his life when he's got more to lose than ever. He's got a daughter now, he's got a wife, but he realizes he has to do this to save everyone. So you do that, you get that knee-jerk moment, grown men are crying in the theater, right? And you're going to walk that back by bringing this guy back. So same thing you could say for Steve Rogers as well. Had a great ending, left him in a great place. We don't need to see him again. You're bringing him back, but that's another chapter. That's the first thing. The second thing is for me is famously in the books for a long time, Doom has been Romani. You could have given this role to a Romani actor. And the third thing for me is there's going to be kids like who grew up with Marvel who don't realize this, but pre-Marvel, Robert Downey Jr. could not get arrested in Hollywood. He was seen as a liability, untrustworthy, you couldn't work with him, all this stuff, right?
Mm.
Whether that's right or wrong, the industry had this perception of him. Jon Favreau, who known him for a long time, said, this is the guy, man. He's got the range, he's got the ability. I guarantee you he's going to do it. And Marvel took a risk on him. Jon Favreau took a risk on him because Jon Favreau vouched for him. And they had gold, right? And the reason I bring up that is not to like, throw any shade on Robert Downey Jr. Much respect to him, much respect for his journey, his maturity, I love the fact he's sober. I love that for him. Much love and blessings to the brother. I'm bringing that up to give the context that this is a guy who Hollywood had written off. And through this, he was given another lease of life. There's probably other actors right now, whether it's through personal issues or just because the industry hasn't given him a break, because the industry can be quite ageist, you could do the same thing for another actor who's in that same place in their career. Maybe the glory days are behind them or whatever. This is a role that reinvigorates them. Flip side, you could also give it to a brand new actor who no one's ever seen, have them debut in this franchise. What does that do for their career? So I feel like rather than spending $80 million on an actor who's already had his time and has won an Oscar, like he's not hurting for money, he's good, no. Right? you could, you know what I mean? Or flip side, not only do you pay this new guy, if you're going to spend $80 million, maybe you make sure some of the other cast are better paid, or maybe you make sure the interns are better paid, or the stunt people, or just give it to catering. You know what I mean? I think $80 million on an actor who you've really seen do this journey is essentially stunt casting. And if you're spending 80 million, you're kind of pretty much telling me that after this, I'm never going to see him again, because you're not realistically going to spend $80 million to bring him back, are you? So it's one and done. So what is the point of it?
Not a great investment, is it?
It's not. I mean, and that's just the Robert Downey Jr. of it all. If you want to get into the fact that we've said goodbye to the X-Men, like what, 3 times now? We're going to do it again? Your last big movie was Deadpool Wolverine. You ended with a montage saying, oh, these characters we've lived with for so long, we're saying bye now. They're coming back next summer. What are you talking about? Like, does nothing mean anything?
I'm gonna agree.
This big song and dance, like you had the sad music and the outtakes and all that, and then I'm going to see them again.
I agree with you on that. I agree with you. It's a big worry because I feel like it's a franchise and an industry that's finding it hard to let go because, and I think that's like a natural human instinct, is that there are some things in life we have to let go of. And as you said, like they gave us Logan, they gave us Iron Man in Endgames. You gave these amazing endings that did make grown men cry. Everybody cry. It made everybody cry. And to bring them back, it's like the Wolverine one really hurt me. As much as I enjoyed the movie as it is, and it's not a great movie, I think Logan was such a great send-off because it
really was.
18 years, well, at the time it was 18 years he played the character. I never really liked Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. But that movie gave me the full respect that, you know what, this guy put the work in, man. And this was brilliant. Like, it's a brilliant film. Compared to all of the other Wolverine versions, I think Days of Future Past was one of my favorites. But I just never saw us. I've always been, the guy. I wanted the short, angry man. I wanted the short, angry man.
Which I hope the MCU gives us. I really hope
so. I really hope so.
A version of him.
Because I feel like with Doomsday right now, and I know it's always going to be a cash grab for these big companies, but it's like a bit of a risk, a bit of joy there as well to think, what are they going to do with this? But it's all going to be fan service.
Yeah.
It's all going to be fan service. And it's like, I don't really want fan service. I really want this character to have justice, because I felt like with what they did with Phase 1, which I still didn't enjoy as much as I do now. When I first saw the original Phase 1, I was always comparing it to the comics. Oh, this didn't happen. This is not like the character. But same. I understood when I got to Avengers, I was like, holy shit, like they're building a universe here. Like, this is amazing, like intertwined stories, like comic books. So yes, I fed into it, but they gave us characters to breathe. And then with Thanos, that ever big and inevitable threat, like, and we got that with Kang. We were getting to Kang before the bunch of ants
to this
killed
day,
him.
I don't understand why they didn't just recast. Because if there's any character it makes sense for, there's infinite versions of this guy.
Exactly.
Just recast. Like, it's
I didn't understand. Because they built him up again, and with the Loki series and with his presence in that part of the phase of the MCU, I was like, they should have just got like Domingo to just take the role and just absolutely kill it, bro. He would have killed it. And I was like, it was a cheap shot, and it's difficult with what was happening with it's gone right on my head now.
Jonathan Majors.
Yeah, with Jonathan Majors, what was happening at the time, but they dropped him so quickly,
Mm,
like without waiting. And if you gave a chance like that to Robert Downey Jr.,
mm.
this guy, I personally think he's still a great actor. He's a great
Oh, he
performer.
is.
He's a
Yeah.
great artist. It's a shame things happen. It happens in
Mm,
all of our lives. You know, we have some
yeah.
shitty parts of ourselves and badness about ourselves. And in that limelight, it gets exposed more, where ours is going to be more private. But I thought he was brilliant, man. I thought he
Yeah,
was
me
so
too.
good. And they built the threat, and then they got ants to kill him. And I was like, well, shit.
Yeah.
This. It. I don't know what happened. Like, I know with Disney, it was more quantity at that time,
Yeah.
and the quality had just dropped. So I'm hoping, you know, with what we've got with the previous.
They're really weird as a studio right now because it's one step forward and two steps back. And like so for me, the one step forward, I don't know if you watch Wonder Man. Wonder Man is brilliant to me. You
Loved
know,
it, bro.
it's an exploration of so many things of grief, of fear, of chasing a dream, maybe getting close to it and wondering if that actually is your dream.
Yeah,
There's so much character work in there, and it's such a vivid and imaginative exploration of that character. Like when they talk about adaptation, how you can change things in adaptation, I think that's a really healthy way to do it.
so
And
good, so good.
to me, for a studio to produce something that good, and in the same year you're like, Ian McKellen's back. Why? Why is Ian McKellen? The dude's like 90, and that's no disrespect to him. Incredible actor, right? But let's do something else with these characters. And also, like, even if I was happy to see all these people, there's like 50 people in this film. When are any of these characters going to get time to have any significant development?
They won't. They won't get no development. They're just going to be throwaway cameos, bro. Which I
Mm-hmm.
absolutely hated towards the end of Phase 4. It was just cameos, cameos, cameos. Let's just throw
Yeah.
cameos at you, and it was like there's no meaning to all of this. Like the one thing I loved about Wonder Man was that it didn't have the throwaway cameos. It didn't
Mm-hmm.
have the superhero big battle and explosions and the rest of it. It was a
Dude,
character
I don't even
based.
mind. I don't mind if this character's in this character's movie if it works, right? And here's the thing: back in the day, they did that really cleverly. So it's a funny thing to mention because everyone hates it. But you know, for instance, in Thor: The Dark World, there is a scene when Loki's making fun of Captain America. So it's
Yes,
Chris Evans as Captain America. Fun little things like that are fine, right? And I feel like for me, Homecoming was where I kind of felt like, oh, they've dropped the ball because it's a debate people are gonna have to at the end of the time. But for me,
mm-hmm.
Iron Man does not need to have a presence in that movie. He doesn't need to be in it, right? Especially for Spider-Man's introduction. In fact, one of the things I, as a massive Spider-Man fan, have always loved is he's very insular. He's very cut off from the
Mm-hmm.
rest of the heroes, you know. And like one of my favorite books, Marvel Knights, Spider-Man,
Ooh.
in a monologue, he's talking about the fact that Mary Jane tells him, "You get really weird around other superheroes," and he says, "You know what? I think it's because they remind me of the jocks that used to bully me in school. You know, they're all the tough guys, the blonde hair. Like I don't like them. They get my back up." So you'll notice whenever he's with other superheroes, he gets like really sarcastic and kind of takes jabs at them. And I love that. Like he's his own guy, he has his own things. He doesn't really look for their adoration, he doesn't look for their respect. He knows who he is, and he's a street level guy more than anything, right?
Yes, that's right.
And so I get that to bring the audiences in, you need these world ending things, and that's why the Avengers exist, right? But in his own movies, he should just be dealing with Shocker and Electro and that level of threat. And I think that's what they've lost. They're so busy chasing these ridiculous $1 billion paydays that everything has to become an event. And I think what they've not learned from the comics is that when everything is an event, nothing's an event. You know, you got to
Yeah.
build to that point. It can't be every day Thanos snaps. Like sometimes we just need to stop a robber from robbing the bank. That's as
Exactly,
big as it
which
gets, you
sometimes
know?
can be complicated for him, where he's
Mm-hmm.
struggling to do like normal everyday superhero stuff, where he's got his own
Dude,
shit going
dude,
on.
one of the best things about Spider-Man as a character has always been that sometimes it's just like, yeah, Electro's a mile up the road, but if I go, I'm gonna stand up this girl on this date. Or if I go, I'm not going to be able to do that thing for Aunt May. Like that's as simple as it gets sometimes, right? But those are all the stakes we need because it's personal to Peter and we love Peter, so it
That's right.
resonates with us. It doesn't need to be how do I stop this starship from crashing into the satellite. But sometimes it is literally just like if I stop Doctor Octopus, I'm going to let my friend down, and I can't
Yes,
explain to my friend why I was late. That's all you need,
they don't
and I
have
hope
those
they can get back to that.
and that's what Wonder Man gave to me was that grounded feel. that I'm struggling and I just want to be me. Even though I know I got these powers, I just want to be me and I want to be able to reach for my dreams. And I love what they did with Trevor, because originally I thought, oh man, they got Trevor in here. What's going to happen? Because again, he's that throwaway side character. But fucking hell, bro, what they did
But here's
with
the thing,
Trevor.
right? Because Ben Kingsley is such an amazing actor, and in his previous entries, even in Shang-Chi, which I do like a lot, right? They still played him for laughs. And
Yes.
when, like you said, when they gave him the material in this to be a human being and to like show that he's dealing with this regret and this depth, and that towards the end, spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen it, but towards the end, when he has to make that sacrifice, I believe every word that comes out of his mouth. I believe these two have become friends. I believe they care about each other. I believe they really see each other, which for a long time, for both of them, they've not had anyone in their lives that sees them. Trevor's always just been the Mandarin to people, like, and Simon has always been, you know, the front he has to put up for people, this wall that he's built. And like, he's finally able to just be vulnerable with someone and trust someone. That series is so good, man.
I loved it. I loved it. We did a breakdown, and my brother, like the way he said it, it was like, this is the stuff we want. We want character building stuff. I don't need the big crossovers or like Avengers end level events and stuff like that. We just want stories on these characters, because these are the characters that we read in the comic books. But even as new viewers, just to understand, like, this is a guy who's an actor who just wants to follow his dreams to be this character. Like, so amazing, man. It's such a great show. And that goes on to the big escapade of Doomsday and Secret Wars and what they're going to do with that. And my fear is it's enough seeing 6 superheroes on the screen. 50? God damn, bro.
But I mean, like, I'm just off the top of my head, I can think of everyone that we know is going to be in it. So because it pretty much directly ties into the Marvels, you've got the 3 Marvels characters. You have Gambit supposed to be coming back first, I believe.
Yeah.
Professor X, Nightcrawler, Mystique is coming back. Hulk is in this. No, actually, I think my Ruffalo is claiming Hulk isn't in this.
No. We know.
Doctor Doom's going to be in it. All of the Fantastic Four. The new Avengers are supposed to be in this.
Yeah.
I'm losing hands. No. I mean, we're already like 20. You know what I mean? That's not mentioning someone from the old Fantastic Four is probably going to pop up at some point. Would you be surprised if they throw Ghost Rider in there? You know what I mean? Like, there's going to be so many stupid cameos and Easter eggs. And like, in the cinema, don't get me wrong, in the cinema, we're going to be hooting and hollering, right?
Yeah, 100%.
But
100%.
when you are like a year removed from that and you watch it on Disney Plus, you are going to be going, there is no storyline here. This doesn't make any sense. It's Easter egg after Easter egg. I don't know if you watch South Park, but South Park has this recurring joke that I mention a lot, which is member berries, which are these berries that you eat and they just feed on nostalgia. They don't fill you up in any way. They're not nutritional, but they remind you of when you were young and when everything was good, right?
Yeah.
And that can be a fun communal experience. It brings us together. We all laugh. Oh, he said the meme. I know the meme, right? But when Hollywood is in a situation now where like original stories aren't getting told, and you are such a big studio, you have a responsibility, I think, to try and inject some quality into these things. And it can't just be, hey, it's that character, you know, it's that other character, you know, they said the thing, you know, they did the meme. Like, you need a script.
Yeah,
you need
100%.
stakes. And listen, I want to give the Russos the benefit of the doubt, but the fact that they've kind of front-ended this thing with just like, here's everyone starring in it, not here's what it's about or here what the stakes are, it kind of makes me think it's just going to be a massive marketing campaign and they're just going to hoping they can just, you know, drown us in nostalgia so we forget the fact there's no substance there.
That was hard because that was Deadpool and Wolverine for me. That was exactly Deadpool and Wolverine for me, and I was like, oh man. Like,
which is a shame because I like the Deadpool films. I like the first 2.
The first 2 movies I think are great. But the third one, and a rewatchability as well, bro, because when I did watch it a second time, I was like, oh man, dude, that didn't work out really well like the script just didn't work.
Yeah.
The script didn't work. So I was like, okay, let's see what happens. But there we go. We got Doomsday coming out later on this year. What other Marvel projects? We've got Spider-Man Brand New Day. Again,
which I'm also kind of like, listen, as a massive Spider-Man fan, I'm like, you don't need 3 others. You don't need the Punisher in it. You don't need the Hulk in it. Like, just give me Electro, give me Vulture, you know, give me one of the, give me like, you know, give me the Disco Dazzler, give me one of the obscure villains.
Oh my god, you know? That would have been brilliant, and it's exactly what they did for Spider-Man across the Spider-Verse.
You gave me an obscure. Is a great villain.
That's what I'm saying.
Spot.
and it worked so well. And there was a lot of people like, who is this character? Who is this character? And I was like, these guys absolutely smashed it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when he was
Listen, I
like,
don't know if
this is
you, I
a
don't know if you heard the news, but on the day that we're having this interview, the 24th of February, it's been announced that Sony are planning to reboot the live action spin-off universe. They're still not going to give it back to Marvel. They're going to reboot it. And I've seen a lot of people go, "Oh man, let it go." And I'll be honest with you, right? If you give it to Lord and Miller, if you let Lord and Miller control the whole thing, dude, they could cook. I'm
they
serious.
will,
And
they
like, you know
will.
what you do? You know what you do before you rush into production? You sit down with Feige and you say, "Look, we're going to do our own universe. We would love to work with you. What have you guys got planned for the next 5 years? Let's sit down. Let's work out a timeline so Tom can do one of yours, do one of ours, do one of yours, do one of ours. It'll make sense. It'll be coherent. Everyone wins." Dude, you can clean up at the
100%.
box office, and we as fans get fun stories with great cast. And like, because obviously Lord and Miller love these characters.
Mm-hmm.
You can
They
see
do.
that love in there, right? They've not
Yes.
been given the budget, they've not been given the marketing budget they deserve. Give them that money that you've been spending on Morbius and all these other films, and give them to actual quality writers. Dude, man, they can cook. And that, when it comes to Rose Gallery, man, he has so many of the best around. Seriously.
He's like Batman for me. Like when it comes to the
Mm-hmm.
Rogues Gallery, he's got the best one, bro. Him and Batman have got the best rogue galleries, bro.
Bro, you've got Donald Glover, one of the most talented actors in the planet, playing Prowler already. Why is there not a Prowler movie? Get that done
Exactly.
already.
Oh man, it's
That's how
just
you,
like
that's how
little.
his so I was gonna say you could just use that to introduce Miles into the universe, and then you're laughing, man. Come on,
Oh
man,
my
just do it
god,
already.
they need
It
to
writes
hurry up.
itself. I'm saying.
Hopefully, they get to see this episode and be like, "Excuse me, I think we got some ideas there. We're gonna
Listen,
have
you
to
need
give panels and
consultants. You
bars."
know, we'll negotiate. We'll negotiate the contract, but you know, we can make something work. I'll help you
No,
out.
definitely, definitely. I'm hoping like studios picks up on stuff like that because I feel like
Mm,
they have these lightning in a bottle projects, and then they just don't really give it that much time and that much love as well. Because I was like,
mm-hmm.
when I watched Into the Spider Verse, bro, I came out of that cinema. So everybody's gonna, I'm soft anyway. I always cry at movies. I came out crying, bro. I came out crying because I'm a visual guy. I'm an artist. To see the type of music that was played, the visuals, to
Mm-hmm.
see Miles's story, to see these characters all to come together, bro, I was like in bits. And my brother was like, "You okay?" I
Yeah.
was like, "Bro, that's probably one of the most beautifulest movies I've ever seen in my life."
I'm
Like
telling
to
you,
give me
it's
that.
kind of crazy when people do these rankings for superhero movies and they don't put that in there because it's flawless. Both of those first two films
Bro,
are flawless.
so good, so
They're
good.
so good. Like you said, from a visual standpoint, every time you watch it, you'll notice a character doing something different in the background. There's Easter eggs from like 50 years of continuity in there.
Yes,
Like the
yes, yes.
dialogue is tight, the humor hits, the action is so well paced, and like it has like just here's the thing, right? Even for the Kingpin to basically be a Bill Sienkiewicz drawing come to life is crazy. Do you know what I mean? Like they've got some of the most talented actors on the planet playing like Spider-Man. Like, oh, it's such a great cast. Like you said, soundtrack's fantastic. The costume design, the way they've adapted all these different styles. Nick Cage as Spider-Man. What? Like, come on, man.
Excited.
Every element of that movie is like
It's a
that's
great.
what happens when you let people that love the material just cook.
Exactly, exactly. And I came out hoping that people would take notes from something like that because
Mm.
I saw that in cinema 12 times, bro. Yeah,
I don't
so
blame you. That was one of those
they
for
got
me. That was a day one Blu-ray purchase. Like as soon as it's available, I'm like, I'm owning this. I'm listen. You know what they're like with physical media as well nowadays. Sometimes you can't even get it. So as soon as I saw that, I'm like, I'm listen. I'm not risking losing this. I'm getting it right now. They
I
can take
did
it off
that, bro.
streaming anytime. You know, I would have
It's so
owned it.
true, so true. I've always been a physical media guy, and it's great to see that physical media is starting to grow a little bit more now because I felt
Mm,
like it was dying out a little bit. But I mean, you got these amazing still books that come out. I'm a big vinyl collector as well, so I collect the
mm-hmm,
soundtracks as well. Like when Sinners came out, I went for that Mondo collection straight away, bro.
mm,
Uh, Anything that pops up, I'm like, I need that, I need that, I
yeah.
need that. And it's one, as you said, it's one of those for me as a collector, I admire looking at my collection. Like I could
Mm-hmm.
just sit in my room. That's my meditation. Like looking
I
at my
feel you.
shelves, and I'd be like, you know what? That's a great collection. And like just
Mm-hmm.
picking out a vinyl or just picking out a comic book uh, is like one of those pleasures that I really enjoy with physical media, and which I'm teaching to my daughters. And my daughters, well, my eldest daughter, she absolutely loves the fact that she could pick up one of these comic books and come up to me and say, "Dad, what's this one about?" So then I'd be
Mm-hmm.
like, All right, so this one is not for you at this age. It's V for Vendetta. Very like crucial to the times we're living in right now. But when you're 18,
You'll
you could
get there.
definitely read that. You'll get there.
Hmm.
But there's other like Spider-Man stories and X-Men stories that she's like starting to already pick up on. Like I started giving her X-Men Genesis, and she was like, "Dad, like this is deep," and I'm like 7 years
Hmm.
old, and I was like, I didn't read that till I was probably 11, 12 years old. So I was like, Dad,
Mm.
I'm glad that you're understanding about what you feel about the X-Men, about sometimes feeling out of place, and that you can connect to that. And it was like, that's what it made for me. I felt like the outsider most of my life. So
Hmm.
the X-Men kind of brought it down to say, oh my God, mutant powers. I've got some powers. I can draw and all the
Hmm.
rest of it. So
Listen, you hit the
it's
nail on the head for me. Like, I think when they introduced them finally to the MCU, there's two things I really hope that they do. The first is I hope well, three things. Let's say three things. So the first
yeah,
is, you know, that first initial Fox run was all it was Wolverine and the X-Men, right? And the
yeah, yeah,
second
yeah,
run was
yeah.
Mystique and the X-Men. So I hope that going forward, you give everyone a chance to shine because it's an amazing
Yes,
cast of characters. That's the first thing.
yes.
The second thing is, like you said, it really is a metaphor for being the other. It's really a
Mm-hmm.
metaphor for trying to find your people and just make it through this life sometimes when you're different, which I think right
Mm.
now so many people need to hear. So I really hope they stick with that.
Yes.
And then the third thing is, listen, I get if you can have Hugh Jackman looking handsome and Rebecca Romaine looking sexy, of course you're going to do that, right? But the X-Men is a big bunch of freaks. You got like Leech and Maggot and all these weird Archangel, like all these weird people that are like blue and furry and have boils and like extra heads growing out of them. Like with the Disney budget, I need to see that. I need to see a mansion full of weird, freaky looking people because
100%,
that's those are some of the
100%.
best character designs. Give me some of that.
They
Like,
are, they are, they are. They're absolutely amazing. And those are the characters I want to see more often because I felt like
mm-hmm,
what they did with like Toad, like the Toad that we see in the comic books is not like the ones we saw in those X-Men movies. And it's like,
mm-hmm.
oh, dude, like kind of humanized him. And I was like, the
It
guy's
was
a
funny
mutant.
because I saw this meme once and it was like, it's always funny when the woman that looks like Halle Berry and can literally control the weather is saying we should be proud of who we are to the person that looks like a little frog. Like it's like, yeah, our struggles ain't the same.
Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Moving on to that, because there's always two questions I always ask my guests. Uh, the first one is there an all-time favorite comic book of yours that you always go back to?
Ooh. Um, it's funny because you asked me one day, it's gonna be different from the next day. I'm one of those like
100%.
I've got different titles that really mean a lot to me. Um, I don't know if this is all-time favorites in my top five. So one I'm going to talk about, just because I think a lot of your viewers might not have and listeners might not have seen it, but I think it deserves more love, is Hawkeye: My Life as a Weapon. So for anyone that saw the Disney Channel show, that was very loosely based on My Life as a Weapon. And My Life as a Weapon
Mm,
is great for two reasons. The first is it really homes in on the fact that he is the one Avenger who like doesn't have powers. He's just a regular guy. And so like a bit like we were talking about Spider-Man earlier, a lot of the time he's just dealing with people that are like he did like one of his issues is just him dealing with the crooked landlord who's like trying to rip off the people in the apartment. So he's standing up for them. And then later on he deals with these gangsters who like abusing a dog. So he takes the dog to the vet. Like that's his scale, that's his scope, right? Like the most crazy his adventures ever get is like a car chase because
mm.
he's not the Thor, he's not Iron Man, he's not dealing with these international terrorists. Sometimes he's just dealing with a bunch of thugs, and he's just a guy with arrows, so he does what he can. So that's the first thing, and it's really funny.
Cool.
But the second thing is, it's one of those comic books that could only exist as a comic book because it plays with the medium. So the things it does with the panel design, like there's one issue where they touched upon the TV show, but because he's stood next to so many explosions, he's really hard of hearing. So there's one issue which is all in sign language, and it's
Wow.
like it's actual American Sign Language that he's doing with other characters as he learns to deal with his hearing loss. There's another issue which follows his dog. So as you follow this dog around and you see all the word balloons, there's only certain words you can make out because those are the words that the dog can understand. So you'll see food, sleep, because that's the only thing a
Wow.
dog can understand. So you have to piece together this story from this dog's perspective because you're not getting the full story. And it's all done through the visuals. And there's so many issues in the run like that. It's an incredible run.
I need to check that out. Okay, but
I
I've never
recommend
read
it.
that before, so
Great run, great one. Visually just gorgeous, but like I said, it's so inventive. It's one of those books that could only exist as a comic book. It'll be very hard to translate to a TV show because it
That
plays with the medium and what you could do with the medium.
Wow, that's very good. All right,
Yeah.
cool. That's one on the list, guys. If you guys haven't seen that, I'll pop some links in our community page. So, guys, just to let you guys know, community page has been running for almost 2 years now on the YouTube page, guys. We pop up all the latest news, what toys we get, what comic books we're getting, and all the latest news that's happening in TV and movies as well. So make sure you check out the community page. And definitely, I'm going to add that photo on there as well. So check it out if you guys haven't read that. Hopefully, you guys still like physical media because I like physical comics in my hands. But I'm sure it's available on digital as well. Moving on to the other question I was going to ask, and this could be from any era. Your favorite movie, bro?
So my favorite movie of all time is Back to the Future.
Woo!
For me, that's as perfect as a movie gets. Like it's everything about it is perfectly structured. The dialogue is so sharp. There is not one thing, whether it's physical dialogue or anything in a scene that's not supposed to be there. Like every single thing ties up to like they don't, people talk about Chekhov's gun a lot, right? But Back to the Future is the ultimate Chekhov's gun movie. Everything that is mentioned has a payoff. Everything that you see visually has a payoff. And what I love about it, right, is because if you were to ask anyone whose movie it is, I think a lot of people would say that it's Marty's movie. And for me, the first one is not Marty's movie. It's his dad's movie. His dad has to learn to be who he needs to be. His dad needs to stand up to the Biff, and that changes his fate. I'd say number two is Marty's movie. That's when Marty gets over,
That's right. Yeah.
the chicken thing and all that nonsense, right?
Yeah.
And then number three is Doc's movie. And Doc has his growth, and Doc lives the life he deserves to live, like after being like, and the fact that a movie like that can have so many well realized characters and so many rich elements, man. Like I could talk about Back to the Future until I pass out. Like that movie for me is as perfect as movies get. If you've never watched the movie, if you're not a movie person, if you're not a sci-fi person ever, like watch it. You're gonna love it. Like it's perfect soundtrack, perfect costume, perfect styling, gorgeous cinematography. It's like I don't know if you saw, but they re-released it last year in cinemas, and that edit, they changed a few things, still perfect.
Yeah.
Like it's just a perfect piece of, like, you couldn't ask for a better movie. It's perfect.
It's my favorite movie as well, bro. I love it.
Oh,
I
snap,
absolutely
snap.
love it. Like it's my all-time favorite movie. I got to meet Michael J. Fox on the
Amazing.
30th anniversary. What a guy, man! And then I've met most of the other cast as well. Met Goldie Wilson, Christopher Lloyd,
Incredible.
Leah Thompson. I still need to meet, but I've met most of the cast. I'm a big, massive Back to the Future fan, bro.
Amazing.
Movie memorabilia in my house. I've got
one of my prized possessions. So every year I go to New York Comic Con.
Cool.
And there was a year they had the DeLorean there, and they were giving out the Pepsi Perfect. So I'm like, okay, I need to get one of these. So I go up. They've got a red rope. They say, so you can't come in. I'm like, oh, is it pre-booked? They're like, no. The only people allowed here today are people in Back to the Future cosplay. So I'm in New York. And anyone who's ever gone to the convention, it's like you can walk about 20 minutes to Times Square. So I run to Times Square, find an H&M, get a blue checkered shirt. I get the life preserver red jacket. I already got jeans on. I run back. I'm like, hey guys, I'm Marty. They say, yeah, cool, come in. So I get my Pepsi, which I still have to this day. I get a picture with Doc. I get a picture by the DeLorean. One of my best
movies. Amazing. I had it as my wedding car. Wifey got it for me.
Wow.
She was like, originally she was like, what are you gonna do for the wedding? And I'm like, I'm just gonna drive up in my brother's car. And she was like, well, he's old BMW. And I was like, yeah, it's still a nice BMW. A 316 is still very good. He's done it up quite neatly. But she was like, it's your wedding day, like to get something special. And she goes, I want to get something special for you on your day. And she got the DeLorean for me, which is insane. Like that vehicle as a time machine. And originally, if you don't know, guys, when Bob Gale wrote the story, it was basically a refrigerator, but they didn't want. Yeah, it was a fridge, which they did they homage to in Indiana Jones and the Crystal of Skulls or something like that.
Because he protects himself from the blast. Yeah,
they did that. But I mean, as you said, the movie is a perfect movie, bro. Like I've seen it 1,000 times. I've seen it with Secret Cinema. I seen it in with a live orchestra. Oh my god, so many times. But recently, so when it came out last year, because it was the 40th anniversary, so I was meant to be at that screening, bro. But I
Oh
got
man.
stuck on a train for 3 hours.
No.
Yeah, so that day I was supposed to be there. I got the invite, man, so excited. I ended up going to
Yeah.
watch it in IMAX later on the following week.
Yeah.
But just watching that and still being able to laugh at every single joke, still
What
hold
was
my
great about that
breath at
screening
the
as well is
end.
that screening was 4DX.
Ooh, see, that must have been
Yeah, so like
amazing.
so like when the DeLorean took off, the chairs were shaking and everything. Like it was crazy.
So that's one. You know what? I should have done that, but I just wanted to see it on IMAX. I've seen it in cinema a couple of times, but to see it in that format, to adore the music the way it came through, to just be that 6, 7 year old kid seeing that DeLorean come out of the truck, and like I still get those goosebumps, bro, which is insane.
Bro, it's flawless. It's flawless. Everything cinema is supposed to do, like be transportative and an escapism, it does that. And it does
Yeah.
it countless times. And like I said, the fact that if you are like us and you've seen so many things and you get nitpicky and you start looking in the background, you're not going to find any mistakes. You're going to find more details. Like
Yes.
every costume is where it's supposed to be. Every line of that, like so there's two movies I think that nail this better than any other mainstream movies. The Matrix and Back to the Future, one thing they both do really well is there is not one line of dialogue that later on you go, why did they say that? There's not one line. For both of those films, every character asks or answers a question that moves things forward. Even things that seem inconsequential, right? It is letting you know more about that world or about that character. It's so well written. It's so tight. Like there is no fat with the film whatsoever, man.
Back to the Future fans, I love it. Back to the Future fans, I absolutely love it. That's amazing. Listen, dude. Thank you again for your time. So,
Thank you for having me, man. It's been a pleasure.
where can the people find you, bro? Let's get your. It'll be all in
So
the description.
on all the social medias, it's Panels and Bars, all one word. You will find me on the TikTok, the Instagrams, the horrible Elon Musk platform. I'm unfortunately there. Listen, I was on Blue Sky Social, but nobody uses it. So
yeah, it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one.
Yeah,
it is tough. It is tough with socials.
But yeah, I'm on all those places. Like if you want to talk about movies, comic books, hip hop, hit me up. I'm always down to make new friends. I'm always down to spread the gospel. If you want recommendations, just shout me. My podcast is coming back soon. I got a new co-host. Shout out to Lizzie. But yeah, we'll be talking about all good things. We're starting off talking about Welcome to Derry, which we really loved. So
I need to watch that still. It's still on my list to watch.
Get on it, man. It's great.
I just want to say thank you, bro.
Thank you.
I want to give you your flowers as well for the work that you do and what you put out
there for
the community.
And you know, one thing I love, like we were having a discussion earlier on, man. Like I feel, listen, I don't want to ever take shot to any other creators because right now in a world where things are so divisive and the political climate is tense, especially in the Western world, I never want to judge other creators who don't get involved in that, especially other creators of color, right? Because especially when you have a big platform, it can be risky. And I understand people are feeding their families through this, right?
Yeah.
There's that side of it. There are also people who just maybe feel that they're not educated enough to take a stance or to talk about certain things. I can't judge them. I can only speak for myself. For me, I have a privilege. I'm in a country where I'm allowed to speak freely. I'm a man. I get judged a lot less harshly on certain things. So with that little privilege I have, I'm going to speak on injustices. I'm going to speak on things that I don't think are right. I will speak on genocide. I will speak on subjugation. I will speak on sexism, transphobia, racism. I'll speak on all those things because I can't sit and let those things happen and not speak out on it. And I see that in you. And I love that, brother. And I respect you so much. And I love that someone who has the platform you do always speaks passionately, always speaks about the things you believe in. I believe we need more of it. And I hope if your listeners see it, if they feel brave enough, they speak about it as well. Because if you're at home listening to this and you feel like you've got someone on your Facebook who's saying something that's wrong, and you're like, I can't say anything. Yes, you can. You might not necessarily have to address that person, but the things you do about and the things that you do love, put them out in the world and just speak on that, because you might not think you're making a difference, but I guarantee you're making a difference. You are. We have to speak these things into truth. We have to speak truth to power. We have to stand up for each other. We have to look out for each other.
No, thank you, thank you, thank you. I think it's really important, and like you know, as I was actually thanking you for the support as well, bro, because you always show love as well, and that's what I love as
Definitely,
well.
man.
And I think it's important because I feel like I want to see people win. I've
Hmm.
always been raised up that way. My father taught me to always see your brothers, your sisters, people to win. We can win things together,
We
and
can
it's
all win.
really
We can all
important.
win.
Yeah, we can
Listen,
all
if you're
win.
out there, like if you're out there right now, the 1% want you to believe is you versus me. If I see you on the street, you're my brother, you're my sister. We might not
Exactly,
agree 100% on everything, but I guarantee you, we got 5 things we can sit down and talk about that we're both loving, right? And we
exactly.
both everything that you want your family and your friends to be happy and safe. I want my family and friends to be happy and safe. So you might not look like me, you might not come from where I come from, but I want you to win. And we can all do that without it being at the expense of each other. That's just a fact. We can
Hundred
all live
percent,
together.
100%, 100%, 100. Oh man, amazing! We're gonna get you back on the show again, definitely, bro. And we'll probably do some
Whenever you're
deep
ready,
dives.
I'll come back.
We'll do some deep dives on current projects that are going to be coming out soon. But
For sure.
again, thank you again for your time.
Thank
I
you for
know how
having me,
hard it
bro.
is as a parent as well to make the time to put together as well. And hopefully you're doing all right as well, because I didn't ask that at the beginning of the show. Usually I do ask
Listen.
that.
There's not much sleep, but it's a blessing. And listen, listen. I say to people, I'm not getting much sleep. I'm getting the easy end of the stick. My wife she's dealing with a lot right now. You know what I mean? She's constantly getting woken up 5 times a night. She's
Oh,
amazing.
bless.
But I am. If you see me, I'm the happiest man in the world. Like I have a beautiful family. I have money in my bank account. I wake up every day. I'm blessed. I
That's
am
amazing.
blessed.
Absolutely amazing. All right, guys, make sure you guys go follow BB on his socials and make sure you check out the amazing content that he does. As always, I am super grateful for all the love that you guys share with me. You know, I've got loads of links in my bio, guys, for medical aid for people in Palestine. I've got Sudan causes in there as well, and causes for Congo, mental health as well, guys, for men as well. So make sure you guys check them out. Whatever you guys can do would be absolutely amazing. Every little helps. All right, we'll catch you guys on the next show. And massive shout outs to panels and bars jumping on today.
Thank you. Peace.
Thanks for watching, and make sure you follow us on all our socials. You got X, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads. And do subscribe to the YouTube channel for more of the long form content and the breaking news. Also, guys, if you guys are on the commute, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Spotify. And there's some more videos for you guys to watch.